Into our pregame interview with graduating senior graduate transfer, finishing up his Lobo career and his college basketball career, perhaps his final home game as a member of New Mexico, the outstanding center, Morris Udeze. Mo, it's great to be with you, man. And I want to say congratulations on a phenomenal final year of college basketball. What's it been like for you, bud?
It's been amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? I've just been enjoying this last ride with a group of guys, man, who've really uplifted me, and coaching staff has really instilled a lot of confidence in me and blessed me with a huge opportunity to come and shift the energy and around the pit and kind of bring a different type of swag to it, man. And it's just been a blessing to bring back the culture in terms of the fans, more fans coming, us selling out games, and us doing a very historical thing at the beginning of the season, starting on 14-0. And I feel like as a team we got a lot more to do in terms of ending the season.
What has it been like in that locker room? You've talked about the chemistry in there.
Yeah, it's been amazing, man. I feel like all of us just kind of bounce off energy off each other, man. Whole bunch of jokes. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of older guys who just know their role and just have a very good business mindset in terms of just coming to practice every day, not feeling down. And practice is always energized, man. We play music. We have a great time. We have a great strength coach, great trainer and Ben, and great Flores, man. And I feel like it's just been a blessing this whole year, man. And it's kind of something I can only imagine, man, having a year like this with a whole bunch of group of guys who are not toxic and bring a lot to the locker room.
Morris Udeze, Lobo Center, is our guest. We're pregame New Mexico and Fresno State coming up on senior night. Senior night. It's your senior night. This is it. This is your last rodeo, man. It's your last ride.
Yeah.
Little emotional for you, think?
I feel like it will be a little emotional, man. This is kind of my last couple college games left, you know, in terms of I don't know where we're going to be in 2 weeks, but kind of just playing each game at a time. But it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be very emotional. But until that time comes, you know what I'm saying, I don't know how I'm going to feel. But, you know what I'm saying, it's just a blessing for me playing college basketball and just and obviously the year I'm having and playing with such a group of guys, man. It's just all a blessing, man. I can't be more thankful.
Who do you have coming to the pit? Who's going to be here to celebrate this with you?
My parents just left, yesterday, so they wanted to come to the San Diego State game. I kind of didn't tell them in time I was celebrating senior night because I was in Wichita. I was already a senior, you know what I'm saying? But I'm probably going to walk with a group of guys, man. A group of the guys probably walk out and just have a great moment, you know what I'm saying?
Great moment indeed, yeah. On the pit floor. And your last chance, perhaps, in that arena that you and this group have brought back to life. What has the fan base been like for you?
Amazing, man. I'll be stepping out to Target, go to eat, Range Cafe, a couple places around here, and you just know who I am. And it's just a blessing, man. To just have your game speak for you and just keep playing and win a lot of games for a great fan base. And it's only something I can imagine, man. It's a huge blessing.
Yeah, talk about that. I mean, you knew coming here that it was going to be different, but you didn't really know until you saw it come to life. Yeah. What's that been like?
I'm big on just speaking things into existence, man. And that's one thing I just knew that we could just I saw the non-conference schedule. I saw who we could play. I feel like we had a great chance against anybody we could play. Still to this day, I feel like we have a great chance. Even though we've played a lot of close games, lost a lot of quad one close games, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like we could compete with anybody we play with at the end of the day. So it's just been a blessing at the end of the day, just being able to kind of just bring this fan base back to life, man. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of fans here, which I knew, but I didn't know until I knew how much the arena seats. And then we had the New Mexico State game, and it got canceled, and there was so many fans. I was like, wow, it's a lot of people. In UNLV, I think, was close to sold out. It was just huge, man. It's all mind-boggling, but it's all a blessing at the end of the day.
And it's built from there. And then I guess it's sort of the pinnacle of what it can be like when the Lobos get over the top and win a classic like that in front of a really big crowd in the pit. The OT win over Boise State. Yeah. You and the freshman, Donovan Dent, get together on a crazy inbounds, little bounce pass. You lay it in to beat him. What was the feeling like, bro?
It was amazing, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of them connections. We had a little diamond play for Mash to get a mid-range. If he didn't get the mid-range, I kind of felt like I had a little slip wide open there, and Donovan read it perfectly, gave it a pass. And after the game was just, you know what I'm saying, it was fire. It was just amazing. A really great day. on a buzzer beater overtime win. We're all just tired. Like, we didn't want to go to second overtime, but we fought through and we came out with the win, man. It was huge.
And hearing the pit explode when you made that layup, yeah. I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, to play in front of that many fans, man. They all have your back in the day, man. And this fan base is just huge, and they're very supportful, man. No matter if you play bad, play good, they always have your back, man. It's a blessing.
You and I have talked about it, and I've talked about it on the air, but the fans haven't heard it maybe from you directly. Yeah. Your heritage, Nigerian.
Yeah, I'm Nigerian. I was born in Houston, Texas. I moved to Nigeria when I was in 4th grade with my brothers, and I came back in 7th and 8th grade and started playing basketball, man. That's when I first started hooping. So, yeah. And
hoop has taken you places you probably never could have imagined?
Yeah, never could have imagined, man. And with God's grace, he'll keep on taking me to new heights. So, you know what I'm saying? It's all a blessing in the day.
Speaking of new heights, we have Morris Udeze, Lobo center, with us pregame. Fresno State in the pit for his senior night. The fact that the numbers for you have exploded this year. Could you even have imagined? You're averaging a double-double in conference play.
Yes, sir. It's all a blessing, man. You know what I'm saying? Averaging a double-double. I kind of felt like during the season I could just strengthen little parts of my game, just in terms of being a way better rebounder, defensively and offensively, man. I just try to be relentless with every play. So, and that's worked out in my favor. I was a double-double. I never knew I could really. I mean, I knew I had it in me for sure, 100%. But like, it's a blessing, man. I work hard every day, man, and I try to push myself to exhaustion during the summer, working out with Flores twice a day on my leaping ability and my explosion, and just gather myself grabbing boards, man. And it's worked out.
You're an inspiration, buddy. Best of luck against Fresno State. Congratulations on an amazing career. And let's hope it extends several more weeks.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. It will.
We're back on the Lobo Basketball pregame show. It's senior night in the pit. New Mexico has Fresno State, the Lobos and the Bulldogs with their rematch here in the final week of the regular season. We have Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. And coach, I'll ask this first. The team's demeanor and their attitude and their energy coming off the heartbreaker, how have they been since the loss in the pit on the final, second shot to San Diego State?
Well, you're trying to create a culture that doesn't get too high when you win 14 in a row, doesn't get too low when you go on a little bit of a skid like we've done. You try to stay as neutral as you possibly can. Very, very hard, because they operate in a world, and we all do, through social media, where it's hard to detach yourself anymore. It's next to impossible. The bottom line is, what I've tried to tell them is, you can't allow a shot at the buzzer to affect what you do on a daily basis. You had a chance to sweep San Diego State, a team that's been very, very good in our league for a long time. We did a lot of good things. So I think their attitude's been good. I mean, there's been disappointment. Like, you want them to care. You look in that locker room after Butler hits that shot, and there's tears, and although it stinks and it stings, they're putting forth a great effort.
Coach, it is a big night. Obviously, you're going to honor 5 guys. 4 of them could come back. Let's start with Morris Udeze on his senior night. This will be his final regular season home game in the pit for sure, as his college career is coming to a close. An incredible get for you guys for his graduate season. He's been a monster for you.
Yeah, this team kind of, for whatever reason, people always talk about Jalen and Jamal, and I think part of it is their dynamic. But Morris has been amazing. I mean, he's first in the Mountain West in double-doubles. What I'm really, really proud of, and we talked about it last night, is one of the things we really sold in recruiting is, we're going to help you stay on the court, because you averaged about 24, 25 minutes a game at Wichita State through, I believe, some undisciplined defense. We've been able to keep you out of foul trouble, protect you, and that's helped his stats. And as I've said before, a good relationship is when both sides help each other, and it's not a one-way street. And the reason why this has worked is, we feel as though we have put Morris in a better position after 1 year with us to go make some money playing basketball, and we feel like Morris has helped our program. And that's why it's such a feel-good, just kind of marriage, so to speak, because he's really given us a lot.
Well, he has said that his experience here at UNM has been fantastic, and that everything that you told him before he got here was the truth. This has all come to fruition. Lobo head coach Richard Pitino is alongside. We're pregame on senior night in Mexico as Fresno State in the pit. The other 4 who will be honored are all going to be graduating, which is fantastic. That's no small feat in this day and age.
No, it's not. And, we're in the results-based profession. And I've talked before about which scoreboard are you going to live by as a coach, because you got to live by that internal scoreboard of making players better, graduating them, which anybody who's stuck with me will graduate unless you transfer. Obviously, it's out of my hands. But it's so very, very important. And I'm proud of all of them. I'm proud of all 5 guys. 4 of the 5, we're going to have a lot of conversations. We live in a very, very unique world where you can graduate, move on, or whatever. But we anticipate if we can keep this core together and add the right piece or two. See, that's the key. It's the key is to get old, stay old, learn from these things. So I'm proud of the fact that those guys all leave with degrees. The ball will stop bouncing at some point, and we're always going to be there for them. You want to be a coach, we're going to help you. You want to be whatever. Hopefully this degree and the alumni base as well as the coaching staff can help put them in the right position when they're done playing basketball.
The other 4 being Jalen House, Josiah Alec, Emmanuel Quach, KJ Jenkins. Since he is going to consider the possibility of turning pro, and it could be his final season as a Lobo, in particular for what he's done for his 2 years, let's talk about Jalen House, because to get a young man who is at a high major at Arizona State off of Zoom to come to New Mexico sight unseen for your first year as the head coach here was incredible.
Absolutely. We added 8 players in year 1 off of Zoom. And if you look at any situation where the coach was fired and the coaching staff is in year 2, I would probably argue we're in the best shape of anyone in the country in all the 363 teams. There's a lot of teams that are struggling to kind of figure this out. And it's hard. Like, I'm not saying it's easy and we figured it out. But you did have to guess a little bit. And to get he's going to be a 2-time all-conference player. He's done some amazing things. What I'm going to educate him on is what his opportunities may be. But you know what? The one thing that he can't leave unless we go on a run is that, he's won at a high level. And we're really, really close. And we're a better team with him in it. So certainly it is very, very unique. And they're all free agents all the time. And that's just, for whatever reason, the powers that be have decided it's better for basketball. Fine. I'm not a big complainer. I kind of adapt or die type of mentality. So for Jalen, he has been terrific. We are a pretty good team when he's in the lineup, and he plays so very hard.
In terms of the possibility of his coming back to New Mexico and becoming an even better point guard, more of a pure point guard, and showing what he can do along those lines, would that be the area of development for him?
Absolutely. Show you can win. We've won. To say that we haven't won is ridiculous. But show that you can consistently run a team. And he's gotten better for sure. And I do think one more year where he can really run the show can help him show at the next level, because these guys all have decisions to make. They can transfer to another place. I don't think that's the right decision for a Jalen House. They can go to the G League and make $30,000 a year, taking buses, playing in front of nobody. They can go overseas, which is a lot harder than people think. And I've been able to learn that since my dad coached over there for 2 years. Those are grown men, and it's very, very challenging. Or you can come back here, and this is probably the biggest life of luxury of all those options. And that's why I've pumped up the fans so much, because you have to have an amazing experience, not only to get recruits, but to retain. And I know these guys have had a lot of fun this year.
And with possible NIL opportunity, another enticement to stay in Albuquerque at New Mexico. Lobo head coach Richard Pitino with us. New Mexico has a rematch with Fresno State, and now jockeying for position, still hopeful to get into that 5-hole where you get a bye through the first round of the Mountain West tournament. Got to get a W over Fresno State tonight if you want that to happen. And they got you at their place. How did they do it?
We missed some shots down the stretch. We were right there. We had a chance to win. It was a close game. We were undefeated at the time. I think part of us was a little bit of the weight of the world on your shoulders, like, okay, we're the last remaining undefeated team. We went 2 months without losing a game, which is remarkable. But then they just made 1 or 2 more plays. It wasn't that we played all that poorly. It was just they had a low-tempo game, which they do. They hold the ball. They tempo press you. And we had a chance, missed front end of 1-on-1 to put it up 4, had a chance to go up 2 with a 3 with about a minute and a half to go. And it just kind of is what it is. So I didn't think we played poorly. I think Fresno is old. They're in it with everybody. So it's going to be a huge challenge. We need a great crowd.
Without Isaiah Moore, how do they look different?
Certainly not as much depth. Moore was a talented older player, but had been around a lot. Eduardo Andre, I believe, leads the league in blocks. He's a kid we brought on campus and wanted. We thought he'd be a really good development guy. And he's getting the most out of it, but they're still old. That's what they've been able to do. They're quick twitch. They cover for each other. And they've beaten them 7 times in a row. They haven't beaten me 7 times in a row, so I'm not going to take credit for all those losses, but for whatever the reason's been. So we got to find a way to snap that tonight.
Your team has been resilient all year. Best of luck against the Bulldogs on senior night.
All right, thank you.
Lobo head coach Richard Pitino alongside pregame. We're back after this timeout. It's Lobo basketball on the UNM Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back courtside post-game in the historic pit. The Lobos knock off Fresno State 94-80. UNM with a 14-point win over the Bulldogs to snap a 7-game skid to Fresno State. Your post-game show brought to you by the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. Wing entertainment, including simulcast racing, live music, downing the best games and more. The Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. We're joined post-game by Lobo head coach Richard Pitino. Coach Pitino, congratulations. A terrific senior night win.
Yeah, we played great. We were much better defensively in the second half. We made a couple of adjustments to how we were guarding ball screens, and we were, thank you. Morris obviously was terrific down low. Jalen was really good, battling a little illness. It's hard to score 94 points on that team. Very, very hard. That's the most that Coach Hudson, who's a terrific defensive coach, has given up. So a great win overall. It was a little traumatic walking back into this building after the last time we were in here. So I'm proud of finding a way to get the win. The fans were awesome, and they deserve to leave here with a smile on their face.
Coach, I want to say you guys did it on the defensive end, but you still gave up 80 points tonight. But really, I thought the adjustment you guys made, talk a little bit about the defense, how their guards tried to post you guys up, and you were sending double teams on them.
And it was hurting us with the 3. And so we stayed home and just said, make them beat us from 2. They're not a great three-point shooting team, but they shoot a lot of them.
Yeah, but tonight
they certainly made them. So we stayed home on those guys and just said, okay, make them beat you from 2. We switched up our pick and roll coverage a little bit, and I thought that was good. So the defense was way better in the second half. And then we built a great lead. And then, offensively, we can really get going at times.
Yeah, they hadn't given up 90 since 2018. This is the most they've allowed this season, of course. I'm really impressed with a bounce-back effort against a team that hangs its hat on defense, Coach. And your offense all night. There was really no let-up. There was maybe a 3-minute drought there at one point where they kind of inched back into it, and then you pushed them back, and it was over at that point.
Yeah, and, I wrote on the board we were up 13. And I said, hey, we were up 13 on San Diego State, and we were up 13 on Boise State. Let's build on this lead. And the other team has something to do with that, too. We got to understand that. But I thought we did a really, really good job of building on it and, just getting better as the game went on. So we were terrific. And like I said before, our fans were amazing. It's great for them to be able to leave with a win.
Yeah, Udeze was unbelievable. I don't understand how teams continue to want to play him straight up man-to-man and without double. And they did send double and triple teams sometimes, but not all the time. And when they do, when they play a man-to-man, he has his way.
Yeah, they would double them when we ran our sets. When we flowed and we're a little more random, it's hard for them to see it. And that's the key to throwing the ball into the post. But, yeah, he was awesome. It was a great – I really look at it like we have one senior in Morris. Who knows what the future holds for any of these guys, but it was great to send Morris home with a win.
I felt like, too, once he recognized in those scenarios that double was coming, that he got much quicker with his decision-making. And all of a sudden, he was taking off toward the rim before the second guy even got there.
Well, that's what we told him. We're like, they're trapping from the high side, so if you can spin quickly, go. We also did a really good job of passing the ball.
Yes.
18 assists, 9 turnovers, and we had 2 turnovers late. Mash just dribbled the ball off his foot. He keeps telling me he wants to play point. That's not going to help his cause by any means. But overall, we shared it very, very well. 58% versus a phenomenal defensive team.
How is Mo so efficient on the block? 11 of 13. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he's just a really good player. Like I said, if we had gotten a couple of those close wins, we'd probably be looking at 3 all-conference players, and maybe you could choose a first-team all-conference, and you could pick your choice of who's, player of the year. Yeah. Mo's a really good player, but not only that, such a phenomenal kid. Yeah. It's why we do this when you have somebody like that who, like I've said before, both parties were aligned. We helped him. He certainly helped us. So it's fun to see, and hopefully we keep going.
Last question for you. You offer these guys an opportunity, and I look at 2 of the players that were honored tonight in Jalen House and Morris Udeze, coming from outstanding programs, ASU and Wichita State, and maybe minutes, opportunity, the way an offense operates, all of these things, and you say, come to New Mexico, and we're going to give you a chance to show what you can do. And there can't be a better recruiting tool than that, the way that their careers have blossomed here in Albuquerque.
Well, it's like you said, we lost some devastating games this year, but we haven't even close to really built the program. It takes time, and it takes multiple recruiting classes. And when you've been down as long as we have, you have to be able to sell something, some success when you're here. Can't be all about what I did at Minnesota, FIU, or as an assistant coach. Now we're getting a little bit of a body of work to go along with these amazing fans, what they've given us, and it's going to help just build for future success.
I got to follow up because what you said is absolutely true, and I think there's a myth out there that in the transfer portal world, the one-time free transfer and NIL scenario, I think there are people out there that think that it's just a one-year thing now in college basketball, that you never know from year to year. And while there is some uncertainty, but you do have to create the culture to be able to continue to sustain the success, whatever the roster looks like.
It's hard, and it's very, very challenging, but you still got to believe in what we've all believed in when we got in this profession, which is building a program and building with young players and getting them better and maybe supplementing with a transfer or 2 for sure. But overall, you got to build it. That doesn't change. And the experiences that the players have, that's going to help for future success.
Building toward a peak perhaps in the Mountain West Tournament next week. One more on the road at CSU. We look forward to that. Thanks,
all right,
Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Good job, Coach.
Huge win on senior night. We pause post-game. Lobos defeat Fresno State 94-80 on senior night in the pit on the UNM Sports Radio Network. Inside the pit on the Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino post-game show, winning entertainment including simulcast racing, live music, dining the best games, and more. The Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino. The graduating senior transfer Morris Udeze honored pre-game as part of our senior night ceremony in the pit. Currently on court signing Lobo basketballs, signing Udeze jerseys. How about the advent of NIL, Hunter, and the return of the jersey with the player's name on it, right? The name, image, and likeness. They own it now. They're getting a portion of the proceeds of those sales of those jerseys, and he's signing for the fans right next to his name on the back of the jersey. How about that?
I could just see Marvin Johnson smiling right now. Former Lobo, he was always an advocate for players getting paid, owning their own name, image, and likeness. It's here.
It is here. With Descended Credit Union's Power of Change program, you can round up your debit card purchases, build your savings, pay down your debt, contribute to your community. It's your change, so it's your choice. Learn more at Descended.org/cents. Descended Credit Union, the power of we, insured by NCUA. Yeah, he right now is he is taking care of the faithful, and we're going to talk with Mo. Okay. We hope here post game, but you know what? He should not leave a single fan unsatisfied tonight, and I'm sure that he won't. He has really enjoyed his time here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot in 1 year. He's really helped turn this program at least headed in the right direction.
Okay, Hunt, how about today's adjustment of the game? It's brought to you by The Joint, the official chiropractor of Lobo Athletics. It had to do with those big Fresno State guards. What was the adjustment of the game?
I thought, New Mexico was doubling down on them, and then they were leaving the three-point shooters open, so they just stopped doing that, and then they just decided, hey, we'll just push that guard out of the block, be more aggressive with that, and it worked. And I thought when they took that away, then there went Fresno State's offense, because they were getting some buckets off of that. They were getting post-ups. They were getting rhythm shots beyond the three. And I thought that was the big adjustment.
No question about it. Our adjustment of the game brought to you by The Joint, the official chiropractor of the Lobo Athletics. To that point, Fresno State was 6 of 9 from 3 in the first half. They made just 3 triples in the second half. The Lobos turned an 8-point halftime lead into a 14-point win, a game where they completely took control. And their biggest lead was 18 with 5.5 minutes to go in the second half. Okay, how about today's defensive player of the game? It's brought to you by Theta Point. Make cybersecurity a team sport. Add Theta Point to your team to increase your defensive posture. Andre, the big fellow, trying to get it to the back, cutting Hill, stolen by House. House racing it, Andre to the rim, lefty layup, curls in. Jalen House with the Theta Point defensive play of the game. House steal adds to his single season total, which continues to rise in the ranks in the Lobo record books. 74 for House. He is 5th all-time in steals in a single campaign. He is now just 10 away from Hunter Green's record back in 1986-1987. We're courtside postgame with Morris Udeze, graduating senior, the transfer. Mo, perhaps your final game in the pit. What a way to go out, partner. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, my guy. Appreciate it.
Wow. What was the feeling like tonight? And first up, 11-13 floor. You lost your mind tonight.
11-13? Oh, that's smooth.
11 out of you missed 2 shots.
That's smooth, man.
Smooth. How was it? What was it feeling like tonight?
I just wanted to go out with a bang, man. I knew it's my last time playing here, and it's a very great environment with such great fans, man. And I wish I came here earlier in my career, for real, if I knew it was just like this. But it's all a blessing, and everything happens for a reason. But I really enjoyed the season up here at the pit. I enjoyed the fans, the atmosphere, and everything was just amazing, man. I couldn't ask for anything else.
Mo, first of all, I want to thank you for coming to New Mexico.
Thank you, my guy.
And helping us. I mean, you've turned this program around in 1 year.
Thank you so much,
man. And congratulations. I thought your team played well tonight. And they follow your lead. You are the alpha dog on this team, man. And so we appreciate it. But talk a little bit about tonight's game. I mean, you got some touches down low, and when they brought the double team, you were able to get rid of it. Yeah. But at times when you were able to make that move within 1 second, you were able to get to the rim and get those angles on the big fella, Andre.
Yeah, he's a great defender, man. He's young. He's going to be he's going to be really, really good in this league. And I was just talking to him after the game and just telling him how good of a player he's going to be, and just to keep rebounding, man. Just try and get as many double doubles as he can, man. But yeah, man, I try to kind of get position early. I kind of fight for position and just go up. Like, the less dribbles, the better. But if I can get an angle.
Yo, you got the angles, bro.
Yeah,
I noticed that. You got the angles, and that left was working tonight.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Tell the fans what the off-season workouts looked like to get you to where, you improved your vertical, you improved your strength, you became this explosive rebounder who's averaging a double-double in Mountain West play.
Yes. Yeah. I just tried my best to I locked in this summer with my trainer in Houston, Brandon Burnett, as well as Coach Flores took care of me up here. My athletic trainer, Ben, took care of me. And just the summer workouts up here, man. But just to get explosive, I was kind of with Flores and Ben. We're doing a whole bunch of core work, whole bunch of balance work. So when I can get up, grab rebounds, and come back balanced, and just a whole bunch of just leaping work. I was on the Vertimax a lot this summer. I just wanted to give it a different look that I've done for the rest of college. Just try something new, man, and it worked out.
You had to commit. Coach Flores talked with me. He said, Mo gave me his trust and understood that it wasn't an overnight deal. And, within 3 months, you started to see that vertical improve. It must have been so satisfying. Yeah,
it was, man. Like, whatever you put in, you're going to get out. So I kind of dedicated my summer into just, strictly working on my legs, making them super strong and leaping, man, because basketball is legs. You want to play a lot of minutes, you got to strengthen up your legs a lot. So that's where I kind of prided that with him, and just doing, 2 workouts a day. I'll wake up early, 8:30 a.m., grab some breakfast, be in the gym by 9:30. I'll do a little weightlifting workout once, then I'll go solo, then I'll go with the whole group of guys, all of us. But I'll do jump training, then I'll do lateral training, then I'll do weights training. So, and it just molded me, man. And I just go to band, I'll do my core, get my core super strong, And man, it's all a blessing, man.
So that you didn't turn into a double machine.
Man, it's a gift, man. Like,
it looks good, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man.
It was a little moment tonight, and I just love it because you obviously have to love your teammates.
Yeah.
And we could see that.
Yeah.
Donnie goes down and dunks on their big.
Yeah.
Just throws down a ferocious tomahawk in transition.
Yeah.
The hug you gave him, I love. Tell us about that little moment you guys shared right down here on the opposite end of the foul circle.
That's my roommate, man, and he's one of the guys that after the basketball stops, I'm gonna keep talking to him. You know what I'm saying? Him, Q, all the young guys I had for this last year. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I didn't want to be an apartment and just be dolo. I kind of wanted to just build relationships with people, man. That's what it's all about at the end of the day, building relationships. So I wanted to be together with some young guys, and seeing him get that dunk is just a confidence boost for him, man. And it lifts everybody. So everybody's hype, and we went on that run right after that. So it's all about instilling confidence in my young guys, man. And for all my teammates who do good, I'm so happy for them. If somebody hits a three, I'm so happy, man. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, it's a ball of energy, man.
I want to say thank you as well, like Hunt, and what you did with the fans here tonight after the game. You signed every single autograph, jerseys with your name on it, man. And what you've done here to bring the pit back alive. Congratulations on that, and let's go do some damage in Colorado. Come up,
Fort Collins.
Fort Collins,
yes,
and then of course
Vegas.
next week in Vegas.
Yes, sir, my guy, of course.
Morris Udeze, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
man.
Mo.
Thank you for having me, man.
Appreciate you.
Morris Udeze, a spectacular senior night performance here in the pit as he closes out perhaps his final game in this historic venue with 25 points on 11 of 13 floor shooting, 3 of 4 from the foul line, 9 rebounds. That's 2 consecutive games in the pit on a Saturday against San Diego State and a Tuesday against Fresno, 1 board short of the double-double. He's got a dozen on the year. Oh, he could have 14 so easily. All right, so thank you to Steph Griffin, our broadcast producer and engineer. My on-site engineer is Michael Carlisle. My broadcast partner is Hunter Green. I'm Robert Portnoy.
Heading to Vegas.
Vegas because, we got John Bones Jones. Turn up that mic, Michael. You're like an MMA expert now, aren't you?
I guess, sure.
Yeah? You spending a week in Vegas?
Yeah.
You calling this work?
Yeah, for tax purposes, yes, this is work.
Well said, my man. Okay.
Bones going to win, though.
I think he is,
All right.
All
Your
right.
money's on Bones. All right.
Yep.
You heard it here first. Thanks, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks to Morris Udeze and Coach Pitino, of course. And the Lobos got the big dub. Let's take one last peek at this score. San Jose State wins 63-46.
Wow.
So, here's the deal. The Spartans go on the road to wrap up the regular season at Air Force.
Oh, that's
a tough place.
One.
Yes,
Balloon
sir.
Arena.
Yep.
We've been there.
Yep, and it didn't go well.
No.
So if the Lobos win this weekend on a Friday, San Jose State, they play at Air Force. If they lose, the Lobos will get the 5 seed.
Yeah, because they would tie.
Yep, because they will tie, and the Lobos have the 2-0 tiebreaker advantage over San Jose State. Of course, it could change if it goes the other way. If San Jose State wins, then even if the Lobos win, the Lobos will finish in the 6th spot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the trip to Colorado State. The Lobos will wrap it up in Fort Collins against the Rams. The Lobos looking for a sweep of Colorado State. That game is a late one. A late one on the road to wrap up the regular season. Yeah, 9 p.m. Mountain Time tip. That will be on Friday night. That's this coming Friday, March the 3rd in Fort Collins. Looking forward to it, partner.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Airtime 8:30, tip 9 o'clock from Fort Collins. Lobos and Colorado State Friday night to finish out the regular season. That'll do it for us for tonight. I'm Robert Portnoy. Thanks to Michael Carlisle, Steph Griffin, Hunter Green. We'll talk to you from Fort Collins on Friday night. Your final score for the final time. The Lobos snap a 7-game skid against Fresno State and a 3-game home slide. And they rout the Bulldogs in the pit on senior night. Final score, New Mexico 94, Fresno State 80. Till Friday night. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.